Hello, it's April from April's Home, and today I thought I would share with you some indoor gardening that I'm doing today. I have a bunch of cactuses and succulents that I'm going to be switching up and repotting, or some new ones that I'm going to be putting in pots. I've got two little flatter pots here that I'm going to do 2 cactus gardens in. I've got, again, a variety of succulents to plant. This one is one of my new favorites. It is so cute. I spotted this in Home Depot, and it is called a split rock succulent here because it looks like a rock that's been split. To me, this looks like some sort of adorable little creature, so I'm going to have to give him a name of some sort. I just think he looks really, really cute. So we've got a lot of new plants, a little bit of a few old ones that need a little bit of TLC, and so I thought we would go ahead and I would just share this with you today because I love all of my little indoor plants and taking care of them. So I'm going to get them out of their pots and into these pots and share with you which ones I have and what I'm doing with them. First, I'd like to share with you one that I potted up previously. This one is doing so well. There are a few little dry bits in this one, and it's probably getting close to outgrowing this container here. This is from IKEA, but it is doing wonderful in my dining room windowsill. This little plant here, I actually started from a broken off little teeny tiny piece about that big from another one that I had a few years back. I no longer have that plant. It did not survive, but I have this one, and I love this variety of succulent. I think it looks really interesting. So I'm glad that that one is growing well. It looks like I have a little dry bit there to pluck out, but it is doing great where it is sitting again in the windowsill. I don't water it that frequently, and I like that the little rocks are on the top here. I think that that helps with the water. So I made sure to buy a bag back there of soil cover, little pebbles that I can cover all of these with. This cactus has also done better with the rocks on top. I'm going to be moving that into one of my little cactus gardens. But yeah, so I thought I would go ahead and do that with some of these succulents and cactuses, give them a little bit of rock soil cover. So that's that one. I'm really happy with that one. I'm just going to give that a little water here in a bit. This is another one that's doing okay. This one's in my kitchen windowsill, also in an IKEA pot. These have a lot of nice room in them, and this one is probably, I don't know if it's doubled in size, but it's doing pretty well. There are a few dried bits. Sometimes I go through phases where I'm just really good at watering and tending to my plants, and other times where I just kind of neglect them a little bit too much. So I thought I would go ahead and cut open the bag of rocks here and add a little rock to this one. Okay, so I've cut the tip of this bag off here, and I'm going to remove this little crystal decoration from inside the pot. I just watered this before I brought it out. I'll go ahead and sprinkle some rocks around and then just move them around. I don't want it to be too thick and like come in on top of the leaves or anything like that. Just a nice thin layer. I think it tends to help with the water retention or something. I just noticed that my little succulents do better with this. I'm gonna pluck away some of those little dried bits in here. These are a little bit pokey, but not as bad as the cactuses. I do have my gardening gloves for when I'm working with my cactuses, so I don't get little slivers. I just work them through. I think that that looks really pretty. I will be taking you around my outside garden here. I've already filmed a little clip of that. I'm going to do a little bit more work out there and then share with you what I'm doing in my outdoor garden, both my vegetable garden and just some of my backyard. Had to replant trees from both our firestorm last fall, and we had a big ice storm in the winter that each storm took down one of my big trees. So just recently replaced one of those. So there we go, that one's done. We'll go ahead and put this back in here. Let's see where that was. I think it was over here. Okay, so that is ready to go back in the windowsill. Okay, so I've put that one in the back for now. And we'll just take care of this one here. This is a sad little one. I love the little pot for this. I think it might just be too shallow. You can see that the roots are kind of having a hard time being in here. I give this plenty of water, but again, it's just not doing very well. It might need to be potted into a larger pot, but for now I'm just going to remove a few of these little dead bits and add a few rocks just to see if that helps out, maybe stabilize the plant a little bit. But ultimately I do think I'm going to need a larger pot for this one. We'll have to use that to house a few of our little baby succulents at some point. I'm just gonna add them by hand here, just to help keep that soil in and the plant stable. There went a pebble on the floor. I will have to sweep up before my grandson arrives so he doesn't pick up little pebbles. But there we go. Okay, that looks a little bit better. We'll get this some water and maybe I will trim off some of these sick little bits here just so it looks a little bit nicer. But it's just nice to kind of refresh everything. That does look much better. Okay, and now we'll go ahead and plant this one. This little pot was a gift, and it had that cactus in it over there, but I want to add that cactus into my cactus garden, so instead I think I'm going to plant this here. I think it will do really well on one of my little end tables in my living room. I'm just going to add a little bit of soil. This is an indoor potting mix. I do like to use succulent mix, but I couldn't find any at the store. So I went for one that was supposed to be good for indoor plants at not letting them get over or underwatered. I'm just going to release this from the pot here. Looks like we have a little bit of starting to go a little root down there. We'll kind of just release those a little bit. And then tuck that down in here. Maybe I'll bring it up just a little bit higher and tuck the dirt in there. And then add more dirt. And this potting soil is a little bit tricky because it is really light, so it's just tending to fly into the plant here a bit more than I would like. That's okay. We'll allow these little new ones here. You can see new ones coming up already, so I thought it would be good to get this into a little bit bigger pot so it can grow. And now I'll go ahead and add some pebbles. Again, making sure to leave a little space around these newly emerging bits so they don't have to struggle too much to pop through. There go more rocks. They like to go everywhere. I love these little pebbles. They're really pretty. It was nice to find them in a bag like that. I'm not going to bring them too close to the edge of the plant again, just to give them that room that they may need. Okay, so that one is done for now, and I will get that watered here at the end. And I also thought I would share with you this little thing here, this cute little dustpan and broom. I just found this at Amazon the other day. I thought it would be good to have for little projects like this when I'm making a big mess, just to be able to get everything swept up. I'll set this aside too. And let's go ahead and plant our little llama here. This was a gift for Mother's Day from my son and daughter-in-law, and I found the perfect little succulent for this. Fits just right. So I'm going to go ahead and fill that with some dirt. Okay, so I've got all the dirt in that, and I've added a few rocks to the top. I used my little broom to kind of brush off the outside here. I'm going to take a quick second here to sweep up some of my mess and make room for the next project. Okay, last time I actually covered my table surface. I probably should have done that this time as well, but I did not. Okay, we'll set this back here. And before we do, I'm going to do our cactuses last because they're prickly. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and plant this one up. Same variety of plant that went in the llama, just a little bit bigger. This has some potting soil in it from another plant that I previously had. I'm going to remove some of this soil. It's a really dry soil here, so I'm going to just remove some of that, maybe the top layer, to make room for some new soil and the plant. It wasn't bad soil, it's just seems like it would be nice to refresh it a little bit. We'll pop this out of its pot and see how far down we want to get this in here. I think that's good. I don't want it to be too high. I want it down in there a bit. We'll add some soil and rocks to the top of this one as well. I think this one will look really pretty. This one goes in my bathroom along with a little hedgehog. And the environment in there tends to keep things alive without much of a bother because of the humidity that just naturally is in the bathroom. I do like to switch my plants around out though, because my bathroom does not have any natural lighting. So sometimes a plant will live in there for a little while and then I'll move it around if it doesn't look like it's doing very well and bring it to a sunnier window. But not every plant needs that. This one seems to be doing great in there, so we'll just keep it in there where it's happy. Give it a new little pot here. And again, adding some rocks. Just gonna spread these around to the back. And there we go, that one's ready to go as well. Okay, so now I found another IKEA pot and I'm gonna go ahead and plant these two in this pot together for my dining room. Eventually I might choose a different pot for them. I'm in love with this new kind of succulent and I definitely want to pick up a few more varieties and perhaps do a big shallow sort of a bowl style planter with a little garden of them. I think that that would be really neat. So I'm just going to kind of tuck the soil up around the edges here and then pop these out very carefully from their little pots. You can see they're really just in there, aren't they? Put that right in there. The roots aren't to the bottom, so I'm not going to really mess with it too much. And we'll go ahead and put this one right back here. Might need to remove some of the soil here. There we go. Then I'll just add soil in between and around to plant these in here and then add some stones. So there they are planted. I think that that looks really cute. I'm gonna leave a little room over here because I have a feeling this one will start to spread out. Don't know how these grow, so it'll give this one a little bit of room too. I don't know if it branches out or what. I've even heard that they can sometimes get a flower growing out from the center, so that'd be really interesting as well. Okay, so here is this one with its stones all on top, and we are ready to move on to our final ones here, planting and replanting all of our cactus. So I've got my bowl ready for two of my cactuses. I'm going to put this one in here and this back here in the back of this one. And I'm putting on gloves to pop them out of their container and place them in there because, of course, cactuses are very prickly and I do not like cactus slivers. I like to use the gloves with the thicker layer here. Again, just the cloth part, the cactuses just poke right through that. So we'll go ahead and put this one like so. Then I'm gonna go ahead and grab this one out. This is another one I recently picked up at Home Depot. I love the classic shape of that. I just think it's so cute. This one is starting to look a little tiny bit root bound with the roots kind of circling the pot, so I will break that up a little bit and get these positioned in the pot and the dirt spread around. And I'll come back and show you how this looks when I've got this one all planted up. Okay, so I have this one all potted up as well now. I've picked out a rock from my collection here, a couple rocks. I got this little green sparkly quartz rock just to tuck back in there. I might change that one, I haven't decided, but I do like this one in here. Has sort of a little deserty look. So this is what it turned out like. So there's that one. I'm excited to put that one out. Little mini desert there, little cactus garden. And then we have our last one to do here. this one, and I'm going to try to fit that one in here as well. We will see. They look a little bit big for this pot, but we will give it a go and see how that turns out. Okay, so I'm going to move around some of this dirt and get them in here, and then I'll come back and show you what that looks like. Okay, so I was able to get both of these in this pot here. It was quite a process. This plant had quite a few good solid roots in there, really wrapped around in there, so I was able to free those up a little bit, kind of layer them throughout this pot here. I've added my little rocks, some little thunder egg type rocks, and just this little green rock here. I thought it looked kind of deserty. This is one that we found at the beach. So I just thought it gave that a nice little bit of a look. I'll probably add some more rocks to that one as well. So now I'm going to go ahead and get my area cleaned back up, and I'll show you what they look like, and we'll get these all watered, and then I will fix up the areas that I'm putting them in my home and let you see where those are. Okay, so I've got everything tidied up a bit and ready to be watered here. I love this watering can here. This is from IKEA. I believe I found that at IKEA. Works great. It has a nice long spout to reach into some of my other houseplants, or if they're up high or anything like that, you can kind of reach over with ease here. So I'm going to give them a little bit of water now, and then I'll give them another bit of water when I put them in their permanent spot. I don't want to overwater them right now because as I move them, I don't want them to be too wet. So give the little llama a drink here. And sometimes with the ones that are really full, like the one in the back there, I will take the spigot and just run it really close to the rock so it doesn't spill over, and kind of watch for it to absorb. Get a couple in the back here. And there we go. So they all have a little bit of water. Again, I'll water these as I put them away in their permanent place. I think that these turned out really beautifully. I'm really happy with my little dustpan and broom. I love this sort of old-fashioned look that it has, and it was really perfect for cleaning up my mess with this project. I'll go ahead and link this product down below just in case you like it as well. And here's one last look at the plants here before I get them all put away. And stay tuned to the end and I will show you where I've put them in the house. So here's where I keep some of my house plants. This is my front foyer. I have a little children's bookcase here. And you can see my really tall snake plant here. It's growing really huge and doing really well. Here's the little llama that I've planted up. And this one here. And here are the cactuses. I have surrounded them with some little dinosaurs, little cute potbelly dinosaurs. You can take off their top and you can see a little dinosaur bone on the inside. I collected these years ago. I thought they looked really cute with the cactuses. Then on this side I have this cactus here. This has been a few days since I've repotted these, and this cactus is not doing so well. You can see a little bit of brown there. I'm going to have to pull that down and kind of go through it and see what's going on with it, but otherwise it looks really cute. And if this cactus doesn't make it, I will find another one for that pot because I really do love the shallow planters here for my cactuses. So this is the little front section here where I keep some of my house plants. And then here over in my dining room I have a little side table here. I keep my arts and crafts supplies in here. And this is a really big aloe vera plant here you can see. This is a little rattlesnake plant that I'm trying to decide. I've moved this from multiple different locations in the house. I'm trying it here in a sunny window. It doesn't seem to do well when it is in low light, but I need to read about that because it is looking pretty sad. The cool thing about these rattlesnake plants is that they kind of open up in the day and then they come back up in the night like that, so it's really neat. Here in the back you can see this little flower pot of succulents, and this is this little one here, the one with that funky little split rock succulent that I just love. Here's my little crystal mushroom here. Found this a couple years back on Amazon. It's so fun. It makes this whole room fill with little rainbows every morning in the sunshine. So this is where I've tucked a couple more of our little houseplants so they have a nice sunny window. And here is this little one here. It is just sitting next to my little side table. next to the lamp here. This pot matched my lamp stand really nicely, so that's where I tucked him. And here's where I've set a couple of these plants in my bathroom. You can see the little hedgehog one, and this one here on the stand. Here in the back is one of my favorite reed diffusers, by the way, from Hobby Lobby. I believe it's Clementine Mango. It's a wonderful scent. Anyway, that's where I've put these last two here in the main bathroom. So that is how I take care of my houseplants. I love to repot them from time to time and switch things around and set them out in my decor. I definitely need to turn my attention now to my outdoor garden. I've got a lot of veggies growing and flowers and things like that. And I'll be sharing a look of our summer garden here coming up in a future video. So I hope you enjoyed taking a look at all of my plants. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.